Last time on Timberborn Olympus. We're playing the please grow up before the rest of them die game. Once we get kits. So we're in a bad spot. Damn it. I'm down to 6 beavers, 3 kits. There's no coming back from this. I won't be able to get back from this. Because even if I can get the breeding back up, they're not growing up fast enough to maintain the population because the breeding isn't consistently running. That's the end. Yeah, that's the end. "200 cycles ago, we heard of a place of hope called Olympus. But unfortunately, when we arrived, there was nothing but ashes. As we set out as a small group to find this place, we in turn found we will have to rebuild." Hey everyone! Yes. So, yep, looks like we're going to have to start over. And this time, I am going to realize my plans for Olympus. I know where I went wrong. I know what I need to do. And we're going to see if we can get this to play out a little bit better, a little bit nicer, and a little bit swifter in the sense of where I went wrong. I'm going to own it. I made some bad decisions, some bad choices. So I'll own it and move on. This game, I said before, this game has a learning curve when you start to step up to hard. And playing as the Iron Tails doesn't make it any easier whatsoever. So we're going to start off with our normal start. Trying to get some wood. And at this exact moment, we are going to build water on this side. But this is going to be temporary. I don't want it there. I want it there. This is going to be temporary because, like I said before, we are going to do water from this side. And we'll start working on that after we get this whole area blocked off. So the bad water is not flowing directly into this, which means it's going to take some time. We're going to need some science. And one big thing I plan on not doing this time is I'm going to wait for housing. Because while housing does help a lot with your well-being, I want to make sure I've got enough wood for the things I really need, which means it may take a little bit longer. So let's plan this out. We have 8 beavers, so I have 2 workers, 1 water, 1 scientist, a gatherer. So that's 4, 5, 6, or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I might put the 8th one as another lumberjack. So let's set our tree cutting. And then once that all gets started, we'll let it play out for a bit. The other thing I'm going to need is a farmhouse. Let's be real, so I can get food started as fast as possible. And planting crops is going to be kohlrabies. All right, so let's get going. It is cycle 1, day 5, and we just got our incoming notification of our first drought. So things that I've done in these last 5 days. I've created plenty of storage for berries, and I'm even making storage for kohlrabies. Now, you might be wondering why that seems so important, using small storage instead of large storages, because for right now, I don't want to overextend. One of my habits is I build too big too fast. And in the fact of just doing smaller storages, I'll be able to store as much food as I'm going to need, which let us increase the storage so we're not so worried about the dam. Not for this drought, at least. What we're really looking for is science, which is, it's slowly turning. But I'm also more worried about getting to our plank production, because that's going to be our big thing. We're going to need planks, because being real and honest, it's going to be the only way we're going to be able to start building stairs and platforms, because we're going to have to build out into the water. We don't have enough land. That's always been a problem with this map, is how much land there is. And being honest, that whole thing is not going to change anytime soon. Let's see. Pause it while I delete this road. I'll be able to change these paths. As let's see. All right, putting that road there, and we also need to get the 4 planks so we can build a forester, which is something else we're going to have to unlock. Okay, it's cycle 1, day 8. Our drought has started. We started working on our power and our lumber mill. Started working on another farmhouse, because I set this one just to focus on harvesting, and I'm going to build another one and set it to focus on planting. And I think I'm going to go down to 1 and 1 with the beavers we have right now. I did plant another breeding pod. Let's see. I should be able to pause this water pump. We have 130 water. It's only a 4-day drought. Should be able to pause the water pump that frees up a beaver. I can pause this for right now, because we don't need anybody working on that at the moment. Okay, so then I also need to delete this plant right here. I'm actually going to put this as the highest priority because they're working on this dam. It's not going to matter until, as long as it gets done before the next drought. The next drought is when it's going to be crucial. And I looked at the settings. We get at least 3 droughts before we get our first bad tide. That's just in the natural settings for the game. So that is quite nice. There's just something about watching these little guys pull out their hammers and start banging away. Engineering at its finest. Alright, it is cycle 1, day 11, our last day of our drought. Now if you're wondering why I turned the pump off for this drought, it's because I wanted to keep the water level as high as possible by not pumping out of it. Then I only had to worry about regular evaporation. Now that this dam is finished, the water level is going to remain higher, which is going to keep my fields fertilized and keep my food coming. And broken teeth. I forgot. But we can fix that. We can rebuild his teeth. Stronger. Faster. Something or other. And we're at 150 science. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock our levies, which is 120 science. And we're going to start working to dam off this bad water source that's going to flow in there. The next thing we're going to unlock is going to be the forester, so we can start replanting trees, because that's going to be our next big thing. Alright, the drought's ended. I meant to start the water pump back up, but yeah, you know. I forgot. It's fine. We still had 7 water. Luckily. Now remember, these have regular water sources inside of them. So because it has regular water sources, that means that the bad water that's flowing in there will eventually be pumped out. And we will get clean water. It's still going to make bad tides a problem, but that's going to be the same on either of these ponds. Oh, it's probably not saying cut. Yeah. It's like, why couldn't he reach that tree? It was right there. Yeah, that's the reason why. Okay, so I don't need these lumberjacks anymore. Well, I won't need him after he's done with that. We are at 69. All right. Awesome. Forester. All right, I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to clean up this mess of a road. Now, let me delete it first. So if you're wondering why I'm putting the forester on the inside this time, is because as long as the forester is on the inside, I get more fertile ground, or ground that may remain fertile longer if I have a bad tide. Because this ground here is going to get contaminated, it may allow me to keep some of the ground fertile for longer. That's my whole idea and plan. Whether it actually works that way, you know, we'll see. But I'm trying. I'm really trying. And then another thing we're going to do is we're going to plant our trees. And plant berries over here. And I'm probably going to move our gatherer over here, so they'll be able to get those berries easily. And then I definitely want to plant pines here. And I know a lot of people are probably going to yell at me because I'm planting birch. But early in the game, I don't feel like birch is such a bad option because it allows you a constant source of wood because of how long it takes for birch to mature. So you can yell at me, you can leave it in the comments, but that's my philosophy, and I'm sticking to that. Okay, I can pause my lumber mill since we're full on planks. And I won't need them until stairs, which is 70. So 16 more science. We might actually get a full wet season this time. Yep. Cycle 2, day 6. Just got our drought notification. So our longest wet season is set to 9 days. Now you might be wondering, well, Coach, why are you doing stairs first? Platforms seem like they were going to be better. Well, I need to block this off with some levees and dams down here to make it so it will hold more water in this basin. Which I also need to cut the trees down here. Because free wood. So I did make it's cycle 3, day 1. I did make a slight mistake. I forgot to turn my water pump back on. So my water pretty much went down to absolute nothing. But I also decided to move those storage tanks over to this side. And I'm going to move my gatherer flag over here. And I think I am going to fill up these 4 spots with, or at least those 2 spots for sure, with more blueberry bushes. Yeah, and then I think I'm going to put another breeding pod right there. That takes water, and this one takes water as well. All right. And then pick up these logs when you get a chance. All right, so that is finished. We are working on this. I can pause this. Actually, I can just delete that. It's not going to be necessary anymore. I can pause this gatherer flag because I'm not going to need... I shouldn't need that. I'm going to say I shouldn't need that. And as I was contemplating about which platform to get, I am going to hold off to the triple platform. Because to build out into this area, this requires 3. So resource wise, it takes 2 more for each. It takes more logs, but the same amount of planks to build all of these platforms. So each one of these takes 4 planks to build. But this one takes 6 logs. This one takes 4 logs. That one takes 2 logs. So if I tried to build single platforms all the way up, it's going to take me 12 planks and 6 logs. Where a triple will cost 6 logs and 4 planks. It's just more cost efficient, even if I'm going to have to wait longer for science. It's just something I'm going to have to deal with, and I'm perfectly fine with that. All right, it is cycle 3, day 7. And with our second water pump, we almost completely replenished all of our water before the drought. And we've finished this dam here. So as of now, we're good to go on trying to maintain fluid level in this basin right here. So I think we're going to end this video here at the beginning of the drought. I'll probably play through this drought since it's a 5-day drought, and we'll pick up afterwards. So here's to Neo Olympus and hoping I can actually realize my vision in hard, because I would really hate to go back to normal to actually get this to look as I want it to. I mean, I really, really want you to see the vision I have for this colony, and I really want to do it on hard. So I hope you enjoyed this. I will catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.